My name is Laurent Saillard, and I have 15 years experience working with NGO, UN, as well as donor agencies in different crises around the world. I think the response is quite obvious. But first, I would like to start with an observation. I mean, if I judge by the reaction within my own family, I see a lot of misconception and misunderstanding regarding the type of work I do, humanitarian work, and the type of misconception and misunderstanding that could negatively impact on the public attention and support, and therefore, by reaction, impact negatively on our ability to find resources and respond. So therefore, I see here a real need to maybe clarify certain things, and therefore need for more communication. Also, in our type of business, when there is limited public attention and support, there is also limited political support. And with limited political support, also in general, there is limited resources, and therefore limited means to respond to humanitarian needs. So again, it's in our interest to raise the public awareness, attention, to get more support, and hopefully more political support and more resources to do our job. And there's one last point I would like to add. It's not only because it's in our interest we should communicate. I think it's also a legal, a moral and a legal obligation. In most cases, humanitarian intervention are supported with taxpayer money, it's public money, and therefore we have to account for what we do. We need to inform people. It's our duty. In many contexts, dealing with protection can be the dangerous business. Therefore, it's complicated and can be dangerous, and therefore it requires the presence of well-trained professionals who know what they are dealing with and how to do it. How they can make a difference? I think, first of all, simply by being present as a moral and technical support, helping their colleagues, national colleagues, working with civil society. Being present by sharing experiences, knowledge, raising awareness about international humanitarian law, human rights, about duties, obligations of the various stakeholders, armed groups, politicians, etc., political leaders, by also witnessing, directly or indirectly, possible abuses that need to be addressed. By reporting in a professional way, in a way which structured information well enough so that it can be used for potential legal action if needed. Also for advocating for changes where and when needed. So that's how I think a well-trained professional in protection can make a difference. Ultimately, we also have to be recognized and be humble and recognize the limits of what well-trained professional can do. In the end, changes must come from inside, from the actors themselves, the armed groups, the perpetrators, as well as the victims, actually. And if this willingness for change is not coming from there, I think ultimately our expectation should remain limited. Equally, we could say that when there is no well-trained professional on the ground, I'm afraid, unfortunately, this is the open door to continuous abuses and impunity. And I think there are many crises in the world that show that when there is not enough presence, there is impunity. So I think that's how I believe a well-trained professional can make a difference.